1. Remember, trust, success, and fame must be earned. You will receive from the world what you desire if you put yourself in its place. By and large, individuals who live by this principle not only gain money and fame. By earning trust, they earn respect. 2. Learn to be amazed by the right people. The second idea that I arrived at very early is there is no love except the one that is based on admiration for another person. At the same time, they don't necessarily have to be alive. The main thing is what they inspire you with. I kept this idea in mind all my life, and it proved to be very, very useful for me. 3. Learn new things. It's a moral duty. Just like applying knowledge in practice, you need to turn your life into a constant pursuit of new knowledge. Without this, you won't be able to become a person who handles their responsibilities well. If you intend to move forward, then you must continue learning even after you leave the university. If civilization can progress only by creating new inventions, then you can progress only by acquiring new knowledge. 4. Learn to grasp a little bit of everything. I noticed that fundamental ideas constitute about 95% of important information in any field. It wasn't difficult for me to glean these ideas from all major disciplines and incorporate them into my thought process. Of course, it's not enough to just know something, you need to apply it. Throughout my life, I practiced this approach. I can't detail everything it has given me. However, it made my life more enjoyable and made me more efficient and useful to others. It helped me become wealthy. But this approach comes with its own dangers. Experts in various fields and perhaps even your boss may cease to be authorities. You will know much more and arrive at the right solution faster than they do. However, all of this won't work if you merely cram information to ace an exam. You must internalize these ideas so well that you can wield them in the process of thinking. Only then can you apply them in other areas of your life. 5. Think about the causes of problems, not just their consequences. Problems are easier to solve if you look at them from a different perspective. If you want to help India, you should ask yourself not how you can assist the country, but what causes it the greatest harm and how to neutralize it. It might seem logically equivalent, but it's not. Those of you who have dealt with algebra know that sometimes transferring a term from one side of the equation to the other helps solve the problem. 6. Be dependable. Unreliability can negate your virtues. If you can't be relied upon, then all your good qualities can be thrown away instantly. Do everything conscientiously. Don't be lazy. 7. Avoid extremes. Don't become a fanatic. Another thing to steer clear of is blind allegiance to any ideology. You've probably seen people with narrow perspectives. For instance, religious figures who hold opposing theological viewpoints. They share one thing: they can't step outside their boundaries and think freely. This applies to political beliefs as well. When you're young, it's easy to become passionate about certain ideas, to believe in them, to declare yourself a supporter of something. You can keep boxing yourself into the confines of an ideology, further and further. That way, you'll lose the ability to think independently. Whenever I contemplate this, I recall kayakers from Scandinavia. They successfully navigated all the rapids in their countries and thought they'd achieve the same success in the US, in Grand Rapids. They all died. A big whirlpool is not where you'd want to end up, and I believe the same can be said about a deeply entrenched ideology. 8. Rid yourself of envy, resentment, and self-pity. Why should you envy, feel resentful, seek revenge, or pity yourself? These are catastrophic patterns of thought, and they become quite habitual rather quickly. I have a friend who carries around a stack of cards. When someone tells him a self-pitying story, he hands them one of those cards. It reads, "Your story has touched me. I have never met a person who has had so many misfortunes as you have." You might consider this a jest, but I think when you start feeling sorry for yourself, the cause doesn't really matter. Maybe your child is dying of cancer, but feeling sorry for yourself won't help fix the situation. Just give yourself one of those cards. When you learn to avoid self-pity, you gain a tremendous advantage over others. Don't shift blame onto circumstances or other people. Learn to take responsibility for your actions. 9. Collaborate with people you admire. Your life will bring you more joy if you are inspired by the people you work with. This requires talent. I have figured out which individuals at work truly inspire me and skillfully navigated among them. I never spoke ill of any of them. This way, I always worked under the leadership of people who inspire me. 10. Learn to maintain objectivity, especially when it's most difficult. Remember Darwin, he always paid great attention to undeniable evidence. Regularly assessing your own objectivity is essential if you want to think correctly. Adopting the same attitude towards facts as Darwin and cultivating the habit of keeping checklists can help. By going through everything on a list, you can avoid many mistakes. And there is no other method that works as effectively. 11. Allow capable individuals to lead. Everyone benefits when the majority of tasks are in the hands of capable, learning-loving people. This is a necessary condition for the advancement of civilization. You wouldn't want to select a neurosurgeon for your child from among 50 candidates, only half of whom are true professionals. You wouldn't want to fly on an airplane designed by unqualified specialists. You wouldn't want mediocrity in your company. You'd want power in the hands of the right people. 12. Remember, you'll be more successful in what you're most interested in. If a person genuinely aims to succeed in something, it must evoke sincere interest in them. I can be knowledgeable in many things, but I can't be the best in a field that doesn't captivate me. Therefore, if possible, engage in what genuinely interests you. 13. Sit down and work until you finish everything. Two acquaintances of mine established a small construction company. They split all the work evenly and operated by one crucial rule. Every time we don't meet deadlines, both of us will work 14-hour days until we complete everything. It's worth mentioning that the business didn't fail, and these individuals became very wealthy. 14. Use failures as opportunities to become better. Life will deliver terrible, horrifying, unfair blows. But it doesn't matter. Some people just rise while others don't. And I think the stance of ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus is the best in such situations. He believed that every misfortune in life is a chance to manifest oneself and learn something. Your duty is not to drown in self-pity but to channel the blow constructively. 15. Trust people. This is the last idea I want to share with you before you become lawyers. Procedures and precautions, all those things so abundant in your profession, are not the highest form of civilization. The highest form of civilization is a system of earned trust. The key is for people to be able to trust each other completely, not blindly adhere to strict rules. If a whole group of lawyers conducts a case and each pulls the blanket towards themselves, the case will be lost. Trust must also exist in personal life. If your version of a prenuptial agreement is 47 pages long, I advise you not to get married.